Hello again. Welcome back. Today, what are we gonna do today? Let's find out. Got a bunch of things on our list, ever expanding list, but I think we're making progress. I remember though, and the last time I talked about not liking potentially the way it renders the JSON files for the endpoints. So I might actually go back to an API structured folder. So all the endpoint data is nice and tidy. So maybe you'll start there. Things like header, consistent header layout. We haven't touched any of that stuff. Things that have to do that I'm less excited about, but maybe actually from a technical standpoint, this will be good. Site map, RSS feed stuff. Figure out how to generate that. Decide how to do our footer data file, maybe the favicon as well. Let's start here because this is just easy and moving things around structurally. So first, I wanted to actually just run our build just to make sure it's still building properly. That is good. Let's look at our build folder. So the thing I didn't like was that, so the nice thing with using the endpoints is we have the super refined, smallest possible data. So it's not the full CSV, it's just exactly what we will end up needing. So this will even probably be stripped down potentially. But the thing I didn't like was that with our structure of, let's look at our routes. It keeps stuff, it literally creates a JSON file because this endpoint is being used. And I don't like that that's just gonna pollute the root bucket we're using with this index.json file. That also means I'm assuming, yep, same thing here. So I don't love that these are just on the same level. I mean, it's fine, but I think I might prefer that all the data is in a specific spot. So I want to maybe explore going back. I don't even remember what it looked like when we had that API endpoint. Maybe it will stick it in the same spot still. I don't know, but let's explore that. So without further ado, let's actually do what I'm saying. Oops. So we had this API folder. And let's move index.json. Oops, move it to API. And then in our index.svelte route, we would simply always start. That's kind of what we had initially. Again, we were having all sorts of problems initially when we were doing this. Hopefully that's not the case anymore. Really? I lied. It still hates us. Yay. Was this a naming problem? I don't even remember now. Now we're just, oops. Back to the, I must be misinterpreting something. Oops, that's backwards. JSON. How this is supposed to work, because that doesn't make any sense why that just wouldn't work. Oh, right. It was the problem with index. So I think index must be reserved to just map directly to an index of that folder. So if API was a page itself, because that worked. Just changing it to index, it makes it unhappy. So there must be something special about that file name, which I think makes sense because if you have a default index dot, like if we were to make, I know instead of doing about dot svelte, we could have about as a directory and an index dot svelte. So I'm guessing that's what's happening here. Yeah, okay, that's fine. All right, so then let's see if we also do that for our author pages. I want to remove that to API. And then I wonder if I should change it from name. We have a whole GitHub issue about changing naming conventions, so maybe I won't get ahead of myself. But let's just go to the author name thing and it would be /API. So this one's working. Okay, we're in business. So now I want to see what happens when we build that. Where are those JSON files put right before on the same level? This will be off or not if they're on the same level. Again, no, okay, that makes more sense. That's nice. There's an API folder. So now we have this place that's clearly, this is all of our API data. I suppose that could be problematic though. Now that I think about it, like what if maybe this would resolve it. I don't know, like what if we use the same name? So like, sorry, a dynamic. Actually, that must, like if someone's name was home, then we'd have a conflict there, but that would also be a conflict during development. So maybe something that we just need to be aware of. That is, I suppose, the downside of this. I could create, I suppose, folders within here. That might be a logical decision to keep it structured. But for now, I mean, I know the scope of the site. It's not very big, so I don't think we have to worry about that too much. We're not going to have a ton of API endpoints. I'm okay with this, I think. Let's roll with it. Okay. Let's say API. Let's close that one. And I kind of want to dive into something new, which is the site map and RSF feeds, because these are both XML files. I actually added a comment here. I found this module for Svelte sitemap, so we might not even have to write it ourselves, even though I usually prefer not using a tool if I can create something simply myself. I mean, sitemaps are pretty straightforward. But hold on. Yeah, so, but we can try it. And then for the RSS feed, that's definitely something I'll be generating myself. So let's jump into that. I know I have, let's see the docs here somewhere. There. I've kept these open. Okay. So first of all, I know we're going to do this as an endpoint. So we're going to create. However, I don't want to put it in here because it's actually not returning data. It's going to be generating a page itself, but it's not a Svelte page because it's not going to be HTML. It's going to be XML. So let's create a new, and I think, I don't know if I need to preserve. I know I called it feed XML, I think, if we look at putting that cool. Yeah, I called it feed. So honestly, I'm just going to keep that the same. So feed / index.xml. Let's, yeah, preserve that. So actually we need to make dir source routes feed. And then touch source routes feed index dot xml dot js. Okay, let's go look at that. Because again, this is going to be an endpoint. So, but it's going to be an XML file. So I think just including that. So export const get equals just kind of that same thing we've been doing with all our other endpoints. I think we're going to need some, well, basically we'll end up returning body. This is what will be our actual like XML string. Let us actually jump to, I still have it open. Yeah. This is what our last one looks like. I imagine we're going to have it look the same. So let's just kind of copy that over for now. Let's just copy it over verbatim for now. Obviously, this is what we're going to end up iterating through and thinking dynamically. So let's see. Right now, body equals XML const. And then I think we're going to need, what's it called? A content type, because by default, content type. So here we go. I assume clearly content type's been JSON, I think, by default, but we want none of these. We want XML content type, which it's, I think, either text/XML or application slash XML. Do I remember off the top of my head? No. I think I'm going to go with application. Okay, so we need some headers. Const headers equals content type and application slash XML. I do not live in this land. Okay, so let's go with that. And then, so this is where I'm pretty sure I know what we need to do, but like, because this isn't an HTML page, I'm not going to be linking. Actually, I wonder if I do link to it, if it'll auto generate it. Let's just try that. I think I know you can force specific pages to pre-render. So first, let me just get our server back up and running. All right, let's see if what happens if we well, first let's see what happens if we go to feed. Oh, sad. Feed. Maybe I have to be more specific. Not found. Huh. I don't think this matters, but export. No, it doesn't. Now I'm just curious if I take it out of here. Just curious. Feed. And feed dot. Oh. Huh. That worked. So there's something about index. It's always index. I would have thought that would have worked exactly the same. So now this should feed slash feed. That still works. So it's really just when I changed it to index. I really need to do some searching on this whole index business. This is the second time it seems to have cropped up with SvelteKit. So that should be okay, right? Because I didn't change it. Feed doesn't work. Feed doesn't work. Index dot. Obviously it doesn't work. Cool. Well, that's interesting. Feel like this is partly the answer, but I also don't know what this is saying. Okay. Well, I guess for now, we are stuck with keeping it in root and then deciding to just switch it over in some PostScript, renaming it, or renaming our RSS feed, which I guess we could put a redirect for legacy. So let me put that. There we go. Actually, that would be in RSS feed. Either rename on post script to match legacy or set up redirect. I'm not sure what I want to do here. For now, though, I guess we're just putting this back, deleting the folder, and renaming that. Let's rename feed RSS because that's actually what it is. Okay, so now just making sure that's still works. Awesome. So now my question about the pre-rendering, if we were to run build, it right now it's gonna only go through pages that are, actually let's see if it does. No, I'm not gonna guess. Let's just see what it does. See if it's included. All right. So it isn't there. I think because it's not an actual page. So I think there's two ways to do this. I'm curious first if just like having it in our home. So kind of this for like, it's the same way dynamic pages, you have to list the pre-render. Or sorry, link to, so it crawls the site. So let's have it crawl to rss.xml. So this will live as an actual link on our homepage at some point. So this is a fine option. Let's see if it actually works. No errors, and there we go. It's generated. So that worked. Look at that, XML. The other option I was going to mention, if we for some reason wanted to render it but didn't want to have it linked somewhere, I'm pretty sure we can do a pre-render, and then let's go to the docs. Pre-render. Yep, there it is, entries. So this is what it is by default. It'll crawl all the pages in that routes folder. But if we specify also rsx.xml, I think it will force it to do that one. Actually, let's take away the link. Oh, not happy. Oh. Thank you for the clear error message. And voila, there it is. So either of those work. I know we're going to be linking to it, so it's going to be crawled. So not something we have to worry about. Not sure if we're going to link to the sitemap. I don't remember. I'm pretty sure that's just something that exists. Sitemap. I'm pretty sure we have a sitemap on our current. I think it would just be /sitemap. We do. That is not a very descriptive sitemap. So that is one we'll have to do this. So I actually might just keep this. Just knowing that that is something that's coming down the pipe. Or not, I don't know, we'll add it back in. Okay, so checkbox on, well, I guess implementing RSS feed. Oh no, it's not true. You need to make it dynamic. RSS. Yeah, let's do that. So now we need to take advantage of what we've already done, which is all of our story stuff. So now we can just kind of, repurpose some things. So if we look at our, what do we call it, home.json, basically, again, we're doing the exact same thing as what happened over here. Just load up the stories. Only grab a couple properties. Yeah, bada bing, bada boom. So what do we actually want? Well, let's see what we're using in here. We have, let's go to item. We have the title, we have the link, we have the description, we have the category, the pub date, and the permalink. So let's see, what do we need? We need URL for sure. We need date. What are we using for pub date? It's the full-blown thing, right? So we want, yeah, date. We don't care about month. We do care about head. Yep, description. So actually, oh yeah, we have title and description. So we want head and deck here. And I had topic as its category, and then I don't think we care about any of the rest of it. So we might just need that. Items. And then let's just make this a function and pass it items equals items return. So it's going to return this generic bit that's always going to be at the top. And then all this is just going to actually, let's just grab one of them, delete all the rest. Also, am I limiting it? I feel like our XML feed doesn't have, it's like recent stories. Feed slash. Oh yeah, this is only like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12. 15, that seems arbitrary. I'll just throw 20 on and call it a day. So back here, we've got that const items equals 20. So we got our items, we do that. And then basically in here, we'll just say items. Sorry, item. XML. Right, this is the function now. Okay, so const item XML equals items dot map create XML create item XML. Let's be good here. Which will be a function. And then we want it to be a string. So we'll just join them all together. So const create item XML. And this can just be like a all right, so this is going to be, and let's deconstruct here. Should just be head, deck, URL, or preserve the same order. URL, date, head, deck. Okay, so URL should just be that. Deck. Wait, topic. Forgot about that one. Date, we're gonna have to stringify this. So this is the only one that we'll get a little bit of, see, because I'm pretty sure it's a date object. I mean, honestly, we already did this here, so let's just see what it did. Keep it consistent. RSS, XML, what do I call it? Feed, feed, date. I guess I did that. UTC string. That can't be right though. Items. Oh yeah, like that. 15. Good counting. Oh, we got this partial called items. See, there's so much stuff going on here. Ooh, what is that? Neat. Ooh, that was interesting. Might need to bring that over. All right. So we did just do UTC strings, but UTC string, so date.UTC string. Oh, this is just for an ID. So URL. Cool. I guess we'll see if I do need to bring in that clean function. What that was about. Seems really hacky. All right. Let's let it ride. So we've got, oh yeah, num items. So filter story by props, and then const. I wonder why I chose 15. All right, let's run this and see what happens. So we've got like our little item maker, and then we map over all of them on the function, make it a string, inject it into here, and turn that whole thing. See what happens. Parsing error. Oh, look at it. Look at that. That's, first of all, that is a nice error message. So once again, thank you, SvelteKit. That's why I had it. I'm not crazy. So just make this little one-liner. And don't judge me for my beautiful regex. I know there's better ways of doing this. Clean equals string. Whatever. And then now let's run clean on apparently head and URL. Sorry. Back in business. That looks right. Let's see. Outcast and charts. What? We need to sort this. So hold up, reverse. I mean, I could be, you know what? I should do this the right way. In a real search sort, just in case. So we should say all dot sort. And I like to just use D3 for this, descending. Yeah. Okay. Which means, oh, cool. It just brought it in automatically. Oh, did it? I totally forgot our state of using D3. I definitely don't have D3 or array installed. So let's just bring it in from, yeah. Look at that. Okay, spades. That's our most recent story. Awesome. Okay. I'm gonna call that done. So yeah, RSS feed. Now I might just switch over this issue, or this comment, to make it its own issue, and we'll deal with that when we start deploying stuff. RSS feed page name, page rename. Currently, or Okay, there was a question. We'll get to that eventually. But we technically made, we made our RSS feed. So that's cool. So let's go back to these things. Let's give sitemap a quick try and see what it actually generates using that tool. Just because, let's see, it says it's compatible with static adapter and this official SvelteKit issue. It's a lot of writing. Oh, this was literally just a response to that issue. Okay. Let's give it a whirl. That npm add svelte sitemap-d. It scans your routes and generates build/sitemap. Or we can do it in JavaScript. Options, required domain. Cool, you can ignore files. Set time. All right. This all sounds reasonable. Let's give it a whirl. So this would be like a little postscript that we have that would run after our build, presumably. So if we did svelte, oh, right, command line tool would have to be installed. So actually, I'm going to use this as a JS file. What's that? Let's knock that off. So it's just make another task, and we'll call it site.js. I'm assuming oh yeah, a little post build hook. Oh, I wonder if it would work. Yeah, let's find out. All right, let's actually ignore this for now. Let's do a build hook. Let's just follow the instructions. So build, post build. Wait, did I just copy the whole thing? There we go. It's going to be putting cool. Hey, build sitemap. That should exist. Build. Oh, awesome. That is great. I'm assuming that's all we need. I want to compare it to the one we had. Slash sitemap. I know nothing about sitemaps. Okay, ours had this last mod, and I don't know what the priority was for. I must have added that for some reason, but I have to imagine it doesn't mean anything. Sitemap priority. Is that something that matters? signal the importance. I wonder if that really makes a difference. This claims it's important. Volume 9. Ah, cool. Well, we're definitely under 100 pages. Sounds like it might not be that necessary. I can't imagine it's that big of a deal. All right, let's roll with it. I like that. That works. Plus, we can check it off. Yay. Cool. Okay, add sitemap. Lovely. Let's do one more before I take a little break. This is basically going to be the same thing as what we've been doing before, but actually, I had a comment. Route in nested directories versus node script. Okay, so what this is referring to is if we jump back to our other legacy sites. And we look at our ultimate build. Somewhere in this assets thing, somewhere, where is it? Footer? There it is. We have the storage JSON file, and this is what's used to drive our footer. So it just has like this image, URL, and head, and I have to keep it this way because our older projects rely on it. But it ultimately lives at, if we look at one of our footer scripts, when it loads it in, I swear it does at some point. Oh, that's not the footer script. A lot of scripts. Okay, so this is where it actually lives, which is annoying. Assets, data, stories. So I could just generate the stories file as an endpoint and then have a special upload path. Sorry, I'm just thinking out loud. Or do I make, okay, so the idea is I could just do a normal script that spits out this stories file, or I could do it more rowdy. And by that, I mean, it would create assets. It would create a path right here and build assets slash, what was it? Data slash stories. And then when I do a little upload, it just uploads it as is. And then it's one-to-one. Tough decision. Well, let me explore that first version. I'm not even sure it makes logical sense. Basically, I'm just trying to cut down on the amount of documentation. So I think that's my ultimate goal. And like, I don't want weird edge cases, but you know, we're already in that territory, I suppose. So it's not going to be, okay, so if it was a route, it would be new folder. What I already forgot what I said, assets slash data. And in there, new file, stories.json.js. I don't love this because this is like something that's kind of used differently in our actual site. I'm just going to keep thinking through this exercise. Export const async body. Head test. Okay, so that would be the endpoint, and then in our going back to this whole SvelteKit, sorry, the pre-render entries. Assets data / stories .json. So a lot of fun. Let's see if this works. npm run build. Nope. Assets data stories JSON. No, I'm bad. All right, let's see if I think. So it did create assets, data stories, JSON, and it would spit it out, which would give us a one-to-one mapping. However, there's other stuff on our server in that assets folder. Tough decision here. I'm going to keep it for now. I mean, so the other option is just another task, which would spit out the file and then upload it to the. I think I would just. Okay, so downside of this is if I'm doing a sync, depends how I'm uploading. So actually, let's see how we currently do the uploads. So I have a make file actually that we use S3. And so I do a bunch of syncs. So the problem is I'll have to have a rule in here. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and look. I'm not going to let you guys see. Look at our S3 bucket. Like, how detrimental would it be? Or, ooh, better yet, should I just put everything that's in there into this? Folder, so it's actually exists somewhere because it doesn't have a backup. So you know what, this is not a bad idea. I download this thing. That's annoying. So the only thing in data is stories. We have some reusable fonts for old projects. I don't even know why we have that. And we have a bunch of reusable scripts. Okay. Well, all right, I don't like this. This is not really, okay. I've decided this doesn't sit well with me because this is like this one-off thing. I don't know why I deleted that. Though functionally it would work, it just seems more of an edge case, and I need to handle this for other stuff. So I'm gonna go ahead and delete that. Technically it worked, but yeah, not for me. So I am gonna add an issue though, which is, actually maybe I'll comment on this issue. Deciding to keep routes clean and make a task that generates data file and adds it to a directory with all the other assets content. Well, I'm satisfied with that. I will do that in the next rounds, maybe. I just want to make sure. The only downside here of doing a task and not having it as part of this kind of Svelte ecosystem is I can't. Oh no, that's not true at all. I can definitely still reuse this. I thought I would be able to, but I can definitely still use that. So next time, that's where I'll pick back up. All right. Thank you for joining as always, and see you later.